Hey, all, Trenton is super excited about today's video because we have some wild turkey product to talk about today. It's the Russell's 13 year, the brand new release this year. Trent, if you remember last year, they didn't have a Russell's 13 because they put out the Russell's 15 year last year.
I just spaced on that.
Now, there's a few different things with this particular release that you need to know about.
Well, why, are you going to tell me?
Well, you're looking. One thing I really do like, then I was looking over the label, you remember with Wild Turkey, it was kind of pain in the booty that you had to look up barcodes and stuff to see what release it is. If you look on one of these sides here, it actually will tell you.
Spring 2025?
So instead of having to look up barcodes and everything.
That's nice.
Great call on your part because that was a pain. And then also, I would like you to look at the proof.
123.8.
There you go.
Is that higher than normal?
Yes. It's usually like a 114.8,
Oh, wow.
I believe. That's usually been the standard at 114.8.
So you know what that means
so
then?
They bumped it up just a touch. They must have been listening to you, right?
They took my advice.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah. They took my advice, and I'm glad, you know. I know what I'm talking about. This is probably going to be critically acclaimed if it's 10 proof points higher.
I knew that was coming. How did I not know that was coming? Anyways. What is extremely intriguing to me, I found out, there's 160 barrels in this particular blend for this release. Okay. 150 of them came out of the Camp Nelson.
Wow.
The other 10 came out of Tyrone, which, if you remember, I'm very fond of that. The Kentucky Spirit releases too. If I see a Tyrone, I like those a lot as well. So those two fantastic choices, absolutely. Another thing. This is primarily 13-year barrels, but there are some 14-year in there too.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying I haven't had this yet, honestly. Well, there's a little bit but Kent's here. We just got done filming Friday's video, so you'll see that come Friday. But I poured him a little bit of this here so that we could have a taste of it. I have not had it yet. Swear to you.
I'm really surprised.
I've not.
I'm surprised.
I am. I did open it when I got it, so it has been open for several days.
Okay. Yeah, you got this a couple days ago.
Yeah, with Harry.
Okay.
MSRP on this one, Trent, is $199, unfortunately. Guess what I paid with Harry?
$219.
$199.
Harry, okay.
My man, Harry.
All right.
But, you know, it's a lot of money. Let's face it, $200 for a bottle of bourbon is a lot of money. It's a 13-year product. I get it. If you stick around that $10 per year, we've talked about this before, you're around that $130, $140 range. $200 it is Wild Turkey.
Campari's got to make money somehow, you know.
Mash bill real quick, 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley. That's all I know. That's it. That's all the information I got for you today, buddy. I did all that for you.
Thank you.
I knew you wouldn't.
I would not. No, I definitely would not. I'm usually never prepared for a video.
I'm looking forward to it. Now, truthfully, do I feel that this is going to measure up to the 15-year? No. To me, the 15-year was like and I think I've used the words, and I may have overused it, but it's a generational release.
It really is.
It was just that good for me, personally, if you like Wild Turkey stuff. So let's get into it, bud. You get that quintessential Wild Turkey, bro. You just know you're just...
This just reminds me of eating the peanuts at the Sox game with that shirtless dude right behind us who was yelling the whole time.
We just went to a White Sox game. Yes, they beat the Cubs that day. I've never been to a White Sox-Cubs game, never. And our good friend Colin, Trenton's business partner in the Only Drams app, was so kind, and he got tickets for us and everything. It was a great day. It was a lot of fun, but they got beat down that game. They ended up winning the next two. I don't know if you followed.
Oh, did they really?
Cubs ended up winning the next two games, but still, my very first Cubs-Sox game, and they got
the Sox
beat up
winning
hardcore that day.
The Sox winning anything right now is kind of a miracle.
Nah, they're all right. So
very peanutty.
Do you think so? For real?
Yeah.
I just don't.
I mean, it's kind of like imagine I'm the devil on the shoulders of the turkey, and you're the angel. Like, you know, because it's you love turkey, and I'm not saying I hate Wild Turkey. It's just not. It just usually doesn't lean towards my flavor profile that I prefer in a bourbon.
Okay. Well, this is weird for me, but I'm getting vanilla.
I could see that
off the nose.
I could definitely.
Which I don't know if I
lot.
may have, but yes, it's very vanilla creme brulee type forward for me.
I just get
you
vanilla.
Still get that core wild turkey funk going on in there, which I flippin' love. Not for everybody, but I love it. But it's a lot of vanilla creme brulee type stuff.
I'll say since you kind of introduced the whole sweet and sour type of a vibe on the nose, I do pay attention a little bit more to those type of a note or those notes when we're doing a tasting like this. Mm-hmm. If you were to tell me that, like, if we were blinding this and you were to tell me that this was a Wild Turkey product, I probably wouldn't believe you, because to me it doesn't. It's vanilla. I get nutty and I get vanilla. That's like all I'm getting on this. Maybe a little bit of oak, but it's not sweet and sour like pretty much every other Wild Turkey release that I've tried or smelled. At least we haven't even gotten to the palate yet.
And of course, I know we're tasting a Wild Turkey product, so that's it. I'm looking for that Wild Turkey funk.
Okay, that's good.
Is that different
Very,
to you than other Russell's 13s?
Which is why I like it.
I'm almost slobbering right here.
Because
it almost happened because it's juicy.
No, it's very juicy.
I mean, man, my mouth is watering right now. And we just got done filming Friday's video, so I've already had a few sips. And it's just, I mean, I literally had to real quick because it almost right on the old bar top. Seriously.
I'm really glad I didn't do that.
Me too. Still.
No, I now on the nose I'm getting like a red vine licorice type of a note. Like the ones that really taste like plastic. The ones that what's her name? It's my health teacher in 8th grade. She always used to give them out when we got answers correct. And you better believe it. I was getting all my answers correct in health class so I could eat the candy.
Trent, and I find this. I get right in the front of the palate. I get that vanilla.
A lot of it.
Yes. Middle to the back, I'm getting spice. And this kicks a little bit, and I'm getting baking spice.
Yeah.
Which is unusual for me to say for Russell's 13. Before, Russell's 13 used to be kind of like a lot of cherry forward.
Yeah.
That sweetness and the sweet and sour that we just got done talking about. And I agree with you on the palate. I didn't get quite that.
No, I don't really get it.
To be honest.
To me, this is almost like a cinnamon roll without cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's baking spice. It's vanilla. It's a little bit like yeasty. It's oaky. It's a really nice pour. I will say, without this, is this batch 5? Whatever batch this is.
I wouldn't know.
How many?
Different. This is different than the normal Russell's 13.
I'd be very curious to like blind all the 13s.
Oh boy.
Granted,
why don't you just want to kick me in the head now? Line up a bunch of Russell's 13. I only have 2. I think the only one I have left. I drained the other one.
Oh, did you? Okay. I thought, well,
the only one I have left is there might be half a bottle left of the, what would that be then? Not last year, but the year before.
Batch 3 or whatever.
2023.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know.
That's all I have.
We are very fortunate to have somebody like Harry at B Liquors, who I text and say like, hey, if any turkey comes in, get that to Kurt. We don't care about any other releases, the Pappies, the B-Tax, whatever. That's all whatever. I don't really prefer the wild turkey things. Harry just knows that if it's a rye, I probably want that one.
Well, that is true. That's true. I thought you were doing some pretty good sucking up there for a while.
No, it is.
You're passing on Pappy and B-Tax and giving me all the wild turkey.
No, I mean,
you sound like the sweetest kid that ever lived.
I mean, I am. I don't know where this lands. I'm really missing that like deep dark cherry that the other 13s had though.
Understood.
I like that the palate is a little bit different. I think if you're doing a release where you're doing like a batch or 2 a year, I would hope that there is noticeable differences in the palate. And you're not just paying, the $200 price point for basically the same juice batch over batch. It's cool that these are drastically different from what I remember. it just doesn't scream like turkey to me. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, no, and I'm digging that right now because it's a little bit different.
Okay, I couldn't read you.
But on the other hand, I completely understand where you're coming from. You're kind of missing that juicy cherry note that's usually in there. I get that completely. I really do. To me, and I don't want to sound foolish here, so please don't, let's correlate this respectfully, I guess I would say responsibly, but that back end is darker. I think there's char in there too that I'm really digging. And spice and stuff, and it kind of brings my mind to Knob Creek 9 Year. Now, minus the front half of the palate. The front half of the palate is that vanilla. It's a 13 year. There's just more structure here. There's age. There's this and that. I'm not saying Knob Creek 9 Year is as good as this one. I'm not saying that. But my brain is telling me in the last half, immediately I was kind of thinking, man, that tastes a lot like Knob Creek 9 Year. Am I out of my
No, you're not.
Flipping mind?
No, you're not, because the Knob Creek 10 Year at cast strength.
Oh boy.
That airport only, or the duty free only release that Knob Creek did of the 10 Year is really very similar in my opinion to this one. And at I think about half the price. I'd be curious to do those again as a side by side, because I agree with you that this is really kind of speaking more Jim Beam notes than traditional wild
I'm not
turkey.
personally getting the nutty. I'm speaking directly to the spice and char, the baking spice and char. I will say that sip I did get that red vine like Twizzler note.
Yeah.
Not really that sweet juicy cherry.
Yeah.
That's some of the other ones, but I like it quite a bit. I really do.
Would you say this is your favorite Russell's 13 release?
Probably not.
Okay.
And only because what Trenton spoke to is that really juicy cherry note. And I may be talking out the side of my head because that's what's familiar to me.
Yeah.
Maybe in time, as I sit and have a few sips of this, it will really grow on me. But what I'm familiar with, as Trent mentioned, was that, as we said 6 times now, that really juicy cherry note that goes with it, that turkey funk that's more elevated in the previous releases.
Yeah.
But I do like this one though. I really do. I like that they elevated the proof a little bit.
I do like that too.
Saying that, I love the fact they put it on the tag, what release it is, because that drove me nuts. Trying to figure out because I'd have questions. What release is that? Well, I don't know. Let me look it up.
I'm going to play devil's advocate for myself here.
Oh, you always do. Okay.
Well, no, because, the other Russell's 13s are usually within the 114-ish.
114.8, I think they usually.
This is pushing 124. Mm-hmm. We get a little bit of that red vine in there. Mm-hmm. I'm curious if those extra 10 proof points took away from the juicy cherryish that you normally get from a lower proof Russell's 13 product. Maybe my advice was bad when they definitely followed it. Mm-hmm. for the proof point for this release. Okay. But I could see that I'm all over the place. This is weird to me.
I like it.
It's
and of
good.
Course, I'm going to be partial. Different. Let me just say that. I'm going to be a little bit partial because what are you doing? Just
spam.
I'm a little bit partial towards wild turkey. We all know that. You all know that. So, but I wouldn't be dishonest either, because remember that one Master's Keep that I just despise.
The Voyage or the 10-year rye?
The Voyage. The Voyage I didn't like at all. At all. So anyways, I will always be honest, but I do like this. I really do. However, I think the previous one's better.
But, I would agree.
And the price point, now we're getting into the $200 price point. And there's no sense even belaboring that point. It is, for me, honestly, I like to see that $10 a year price mark. If I'm going to pay and I'm getting a 13 year, I'd like to see that's $120, $140 bottle. I really would. That's just me. But then again, I don't run a distillery. I'm talking a lot.
Campari has enough money that this should be a $130, $140 bottle. I think they're just in exponentially increasing the price point about $20 to $30 a year because they know people are going to buy it. We were just at a distillery doing a pick. I'm not going to name names, but they said they do follow the $10 per year, which I think is totally fair. But now you're talking Russell's 15 at 150, this at 130. They're never going to do that. No. I wish they did because this would be a really good $130 bottle.
Yes.
Still a lot of money for a bottle of whiskey.
Yes, 100%.
But $200 for this, I wouldn't buy one.
I don't blame you. If I wasn't a massive Wild Turkey fan, and I know there's a lot of folks out there that, for whatever reasons, you're going to want to know our opinion about this Russell's 13 bottle. You know, anyways.
Has David done a video on this yet, or an article about this yet?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm very curious.
I haven't even looked of, you know, what Harry did for us, and thank you, Harry. He goes the extra mile for us.
He does.
We don't have it in Indiana yet.
Oh.
He got this from one of his Wisconsin affiliates.
Well, thank you, Harry, if you're watching
and he
this
got
video.
it over for me so that we could do a video of it. So
that was nice of him.
We don't have this in Indiana yet. So this is thanks to Harry. But I wouldn't blame you for not purchasing that, to tell you the truth. For you personally. Now, if you're a big Wild Turkey fan like me, it's pretty darn good.
It's weird because this bottle makes me miss the normal Wild Turkey Russell's 13 profile. Okay. I will say that. I do prefer the other batches a little bit more. That darker cherry from on the Russell's 13s, I do prefer.
And weird. I'm going to say it one more time before we get out of here. That last sip, even because it's probably in my mind, but it drew me again to that Knob Creek.
Yeah.
Char. That peppery char.
It's pepper. It's dark.
Yeah. So, anyways,
I'm gonna look at David's review, David Jennings, aka Rare Bird 101, and see what he has to say about this.
Me too.
We love David, so we're gonna put his link to that article, if there is one, in the description, so you can do a little compare and contrast. If there's anybody that knows Wild Turkey at all, it is David Jennings. So I'm very curious to see what he has to say if there's an article on his website about it.
Absolutely.
Don't miss this Friday. For our live stream to determine what is better than Jack Daniel's 14. I know for a fact it's not going to be this guy here. But we have...
It's not in the mix.
It is not. It is not.
Not in the mix.
We have a really good lineup of bottles that we've kind of blinded and procured over the last, 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. And I'm very eager to see how it turns out, and also a little bit nervous.
Very.
Because I think we have some really solid contenders.
I do.
And we have 1 or 2 more bottles we got to figure out yet from our community and from Patreon. So we'll toss those in the mix, see how it goes. And
listen, we only received 1 bottle of Jack Daniel's 14, and that was this distillery media release.
Yes, it was.
Beautiful box. You guys saw the video. So I don't dip into that. Most people that come down here to visit get some sips out of it. Yeah. I have not tasted it, and nor will I. That's why I'm bringing it up. I will not refresh my palate before the live stream, just to be sure that our blind is, as honest and straightforward as we could possibly get it. So I will not.
And I won't either because I don't have one.
Exactly. So, all right, guys. Hey, listen, this was longer than I thought it would be.
Long in the tooth. Sorry about that.
But it's so different. So
yeah.
All right. Let us know in the comments what you feel about this bottle, whether you purchase it or not. Are you looking forward to it?
Or if you've tried it.
I'd really love to know, those of you that are out there that are looking forward to this, $200 or not, are you an in? Are you a buy? And those of you that are absolutely, it's $200, forget it. I'm not buying. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
I'd like to know. Yeah. Honestly, it gives us a little bit of a barometer of how things are going this year with bourbon purchases.
Yeah.
All right, guys. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. We'll see you next time right down here with Trent and me in a good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.